Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to have a look at wishful thinking when it comes to manifestation. So I just wanted to do a quick video on this for anyone who is maybe getting into it, or maybe you're just manifesting something that you think is kind of bigger than anything you've ever manifested before. And sometimes when we get too kind of lost in the manifestation, we start to cultivate this subconscious belief that it's just wishful thinking and that it's not going to happen, and then we try to affirm over that and we try to continue in that direction, but all the while we're thinking it's not here yet, why is it not here yet? And we kind of have this whole back and forth wavering way of being. So I first want to say that we're always manifesting, and we know that every single second a thought that we have is a manifestation. We were manifesting even before we entered earth, because from my own perspective on a spiritual and energetic perspective, we kind of choose the experience of coming into the whole earth-like experience and 3D experience. And this is from my own perspective, and maybe some people have other views on this, but I fundamentally believe in the energy that we all are. And for me, this energy is eternal, and it's always existent. So before we've even come in here, we have been manifesting. We've manifested to even come, as I say, and experience what it is that we're experiencing right now on our journey. So when we get into an idea that we want to manifest and a desire that we want to manifest, sometimes we can get so lost in this desire that we lose sight of what it is that we're actually doing, and we can create wishful thinking. It's not wishful thinking. The wishful thinking only comes in when we start to look at our 3D and we maybe waver, we maybe don't see it straight away, and we start to lose kind of confidence in what it is that we are doing. But how we build confidence in our abilities to manifest is to understand that nothing is permanent. Everything is fleeting. Everything is always shifting and changing. So it seems more believable, I know, from a human perspective, for some reason, for us to maybe dwell on a negative experience like it is permanent. This is where circumstances come in and we start to think that, things are impossible. I'm trying to affirm over this, or I am doing all these techniques or whatever it is that I'm doing, and things are not changing. And that is because we're starting to think in a way that is permanent when it is not. So how we shift ourselves back into the understanding of who it is that we are is that we understand that our energy is eternal. This eternal energy for me comes down to the whole premise of love, as I've previously talked about before. Throughout the New Testament of the Bible, everything that comes down to spirituality is always going to come into the divinity of love. It's always going to be love. That love is the actual ultimate energy that never changes. It just simply is. And this is kind of what we are doing when we are coming into our truth. When we're manifesting something and we start to feel wishful thinking, that is when we come into our truth. We come into the whole idea of our awareness, and our awareness, when it is in a good alignment, when it is in balance, we will be coming from a loving perspective. How you know you will be coming from a loving perspective is a more of a kind of a humble way of being. And I don't mean that in a way that, you can't manifest whatever it is that you want, or, that you're too humble to manifest what it is that you want. No. I believe that when the more humble we are and the more that we get into this kind of balance is the actual power of our manifestation. So if we look at I read a lot of spiritual texts, and any spiritual text that I read is always nearly coming back to the idea of love. And when we are looking at anything that we are manifesting, we are looking at what it is that we are manifesting. The outcome that we're looking for is something that feels good. And usually it'll all come down to the idea of love, because when we are in this kind of loving way of being, we're more given, we're not attached to anything, we're more accepting, we're happy, we're fulfilled, we're radiating in this kind of happiness, this glow that comes about us in this kind of confident knowing of our worth. And I know a lot of it comes down to our self-concept, but our self-concept, when we get into the actual balance of our self-concept and the confidence of knowing who we are, how does it feel? It actually feels like a humble way of being. So when we're actually manifesting anything, I just wanted to bring in this perspective that think about the most loving outcome of whatever it is that you're manifesting. So we change our brain and we change our neurons with the thoughts that we think. And the repetitive thoughts that we keep telling ourselves are wanting to come from a more positive perspective, because we know the positive is more powerful than the negative. And this is this is from a science perspective as well too. I know I previously mentioned before, in physics it says that the positive is, it's on the balance, it's over, it's like 51 or 2%, while the negative power force is like 48 or 49%. So the positive is scientifically proven that it is more powerful. So this is what we are getting into when we are manifesting. And if we can actually look at whatever it is that we're manifesting from a loving perspective, a true, genuine loving perspective, whatever way we actually create that in our mind, it will become more real to us. And when it becomes more real to us in our imagination, in our inner world, that is what we're going to see in our outer world. It's not that we have to believe so much in what it is that we are saying, but when we are creating this belief from changing our thoughts, it's the inner world that becomes more real to us than the outside world. And the outside world then kind of inevitably and effortlessly is going to reflect what's going on inside of us. And that solidifies the belief then of what we continue to tell ourselves. So remember, when anything you're manifesting, it's not wishful thinking, it's what you want to experience. Think of it from a loving perspective. Think of it from whatever thought that you're having, that it's a loving outcome, and think of it that it is a giving for you to experience, because your whole truth is love. If it doesn't happen in the mind of love, then it really doesn't exist, because anything that happens from fear, anything that happens from a fearful way, is always going to have low energy kind of feelings. The highest energy that we attain to is, enlightenment, obviously, but peace and fulfillment and love, everything that comes from this wholeness within us, this fulfillment within us, this satisfied feeling with who you are and who you're showing up as, and what it is that you're attracting as well too. So I just thought I'd do a video on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and I will chat to you soon.